back to Africa. If you know African people, whatever it might be, yeah, put your hands together just like that. This is a praise song unto the Lord, to the Lord, to the Lord, to the Lord.
WBJL Radio.
Hey everybody, it's April LA, and in the building with me today we have Nathan S. Smalls, President, CEO of the Black Excellence Festival, Just the Known One. So he's in the building. Let's talk to him right now. Nathan S. Smalls is in the building. Good afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody.
Good morning, good afternoon to you. I'm honored. First of all, we're honored to completely have you here with us here at WBJL Radio. Wow is what I would like to start with saying. The many blessings that you're walking in, and wow.
God is good all the time.
Oh man, I have so many questions for you, and I like to just get to know you so our listeners, you have a great event coming up, a few events, and you've been doing this for a long time. Let's talk about you.
Okay, well, let's start this off the right way.
WBJL Radio.
I'm so glad that your love never fails. You was hit by them nails, but Lord, I'm glad that you did it for me. I'm just glad that you saw where I was and you died out of love, but Lord, I'm glad you was thinking of me. You did it for me, for me, for me, for me, for me. Yes, you did it for me. You did it for me, for me, for me, for me, for me. You did it for me.
I wasn't no street dude, there were certain things in my life I wasn't into. Sin was my issue, I was gonna give it up, but I found ways to continue. I was serving the devil, I was giving him everything all on the menu. But now I'm determined to follow my Jesus, cause right now I know I've been rescued. I don't look like the mess that I've been through. Look the same, but I am a changer. Yes, I was chained, but he took them all too. So don't tell me it's nothing he can't do. I was sinking this until he came through. So the Lord brought me in, I'm renewed. Don't believe me, I know he'll save you. I know he will save you. But being saved wasn't always my goal. I didn't think my life could change, but that's when you proved me wrong. And now I'm walking in your grace and in your mercy alone. Got Christ all up in my veins into the depth of my soul. Yeah, I was stuck in the rain, but I'm glad that you came, cause my tears you wiped them away, and my heart was in pain. And I know I'm on the same, and I'm walking in your grace. That's the only reason I'm still here today.
Glad that your love never fails. You was hit by them nails, but Lord, I'm glad that you did it for me. I'm just glad that you saw where I was and you died out of love, but Lord, I'm glad you was thinking of me. You did it for me, for me, for me, for me, for me. Yes, you did it for me. You did it for me, for me, for me, for me. You did it for me, yeah. You never let me down, even when I was in sin. Lord, you never threw in the towel, cause you know how my story would end. Even though it may not be a trend, I'm so glad I can call you my friend. And if I'm in the battle, I don't need to worry, cause I know with you I'ma win. And I'm gon' keep it above. But Jesus, you the one that I love, and you the one that I trust. Since I'm with you, Lord, I'm not giving up. No, I am not for sale. I could explain all the things I've been through, but I don't do no kiss kiss and tell. I just wanna be right because he coming soon and I wanna be in as well. I just hope that you wish me well. Know the gates of hell, they will not prevail, so I'm telling Satan farewell. It's because when I sin and I feel a conviction and feel like my soul is in jail. And that's why I repent up a bit, I look up and I see that my soul is in hell. So I'm asking you, Lord, for the help, cause I already know I can't do this myself. And I'm gonna live this thing right, cause I do not wanna get left. Glad that your love never fails, you was hit by them nails, but Lord, I'm glad that you did it for me. I'm just glad that you saw where I was and you died out of love, but Lord, I'm glad you was thinking of me. You did it for me, for me, for me, for me, for me. Yes, you did it for me. You did it for me, for me, for me, for me, for me. You did it for me. You got me saying, oh, oh, oh. You got me saying, oh, oh, oh. You got me saying, oh, 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 oh. DC on the track saying, oh, oh, oh. You got me saying, oh, oh, oh. You got me saying, oh, oh.
Hey, what's poppin', man? This Big Squeezo, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned in with my mother, April LA, on WBJL Radio.
Your journey and who you are. Prior to us speaking, I shared your bio with the listeners, and I want to share your journey on how you started. Now, you look like a very fun person, and how you present yourself, very fun, personable. But let's talk about little Nathan. You have a big family life behind you. Let's talk about that.
So one is never take yourself too serious, right? That's the main thing. Life is short. We're only here for an appointed amount of time. And I think the important thing to remember is that, we want to use up every gift that we have, every ounce of gas we have in the tank. So yeah, I'm fun. I try not to stress about things I have no control over. First, we'll let God worry about that, right? My journey, I could go on and on and on. Why we're here today, we're talking about the Black Excellence Festival, and why am I here? It starts from way before me, right? Our ancestors. It starts from our parents, the influences that we have on our lives, growing up as people, and who we are and who we want to become, more importantly. So I can remember as early as I can remember, from my dad and uncles and sitting around families, it was always about striving to be better. What can you do to be better? And you don't realize as a child, you're hearing all of these things, and then you realize later, I was surrounded by greatness. Right. And as a way to rub off on you, really without you knowing it. I don't really talk about it, but my great-great-grandfather is Robert Smalls out of Beaufort, South Carolina.
Okay.
If you look in the history books, I can't do it as much justice as probably some of my older family can, but he was a congressman in the United States Congress, one of the first out of South Carolina. In the beginning of our country, the foundation of who we are as African Americans, stole a ship, turned it over to, I believe it was the British and Americans, right? So they were fighting. He had his accolades, one of the first African Americans in the war. So many accolades, right? And this transcends history. So when I look at history, I look at it from a different perspective. And that passed on all the way up through my childhood, As far as I can remember, those are the stories of my parents. We moved to Teaneck, New Jersey in 1967. Okay. I grew up, not realizing it. There was a cute little girl I used to chase. Her family had the only pool. I used to chase her, cutest little girl. I gotta be careful because she's married right now. We have to
Right.
She's married. She lives in town. I don't want to cause problems. This was a long time ago. She's still that's besides the point.
Right.
Point is, so you're running around the background. I looked up and I lived right across the street from Ronald Isley. And then on the corner of my house was Dizzy Gillespie.
Wow.
And then when we first moved here, I think he was here for a month. So we moved in June. I think he left. No, he was here for a couple months, December. So top of the block was James Brown, Dizzy Gillespie, Ronald Isley. Down there was George Benson, Sylvia Robinson, Milt Jackson. And so you're young, right? I'm just running, chasing the cute little girls to go swimming. And my mom and them, all of them, they're playing cards and they're singing and stuff. And you don't pay this any attention because it's not important to me. I want to get in the pool, ice cream, and pull a ponytail. That's what I'm concerned about. As an adult, I realized, wow, I'm sitting in the middle of greatness. And then those memories of those singing sessions and, you know, all of that just poured into me. So I was destined to be where I was by the grace of God. So that's how I got here. And I just want to continue to make my family, other families, and people proud.
Wow.
And so in everything I do, I strive for excellence. And in this day and age, it's extremely important because of all the things that we are facing. So I'm sure you have some questions. We'll dive into, you know, why I created the BE, but that's kind of my story as a childhood. And like I said, my family has we all have problems. Don't get me wrong. I've spilled Kool-Aid on the carpet.
Absolutely.
I've gotten in trouble for that.
Absolutely.
So I'm not trying to say I didn't go through. And as a man, you know, you go through things. And if you live long enough, you go through life. I have a book coming out. You know, life is what you overcome, right? If you fall down 7 times, you get up 8.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of what, you know, that's kind of who I am in a nutshell. And yeah, again, we'll see, you know, how that transcends into June 17th.
I'm very excited what you're sharing as we get a personal insight on who you are, and you already in your young age recognizing that you've been around, or you are around greatness. And I see that music played an important part just by the names that you gave off, and those were your neighbors. You know, that is very, very impressive. And how often does that happen? When you're living in that neighborhood, that's just not, I don't know.
Listen, thankful my parents. There was a nightclub in New York called Small's Paradise. One of the famous clubs in New York that belonged to my great-great-grandfather and that side of the family. You know, I can continue on the story. Unfortunately, my parents divorced, separated, because they got back together again. And, you know, my mother was my dad's first love. But I remember being 7 years old and we left middle of the night. I don't remember too much about this. I know it was there. I do remember a little commotion. And my mom said, come on, we're going. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I think I was just shy of first grade. So I know we went to my aunt's house, my Aunt Celia in New York, over on Morningside Drive. And I can't remember anything from there. And it's really a lapse in my memory. And I think it's hidden trauma. Hidden trauma. But it's like I woke up and my life started over in Philadelphia. Because my mother had sent us to Philly to live until she could buy a home. And she was a teacher until she could buy a home and then get to Philadelphia. So I woke up in Philadelphia, and the only thing that I remember, I'm staring at this huge man. And, you know, I'm about to go to first grade. And, you know, I'd seen him before and stuff, but this is where we're staying until my mom gets down there. And so, you know, I look up, and I didn't know it at the time, because remember, again, I'm still a kid.
Right.
These things don't register in my mind. So I'm growing up, oh, you're gonna sleep there, you know, the car's gonna take you to school, your mom, and da-da-da-da. And lo and behold, it's Muhammad Ali. That's how my life continued. So when I left Jersey, I woke up, I'm there in his home in Cherry Hill, you know, eating dinner and telling me I'm gonna sleep here. And I did that, and we got a ride to school, me and my sister. And then as I got older, you know, he would come over to our house, and he's our second cousin. He lived in Philadelphia at the time, so my mom went and sent us to Philly until she could straighten things up, you know, find a new job and leave her job, my dad. But that's how I grew up in first grade, and then I have so many fond memories. Like when we went to school one day, when we bought our house, he helped us move. And literally, I can remember the story because it was the craziest thing. He came by the house. I lived at 936 Lindley Avenue. He came by the house. Him and Bingham, he had a driver. And I don't know, I was 7, maybe at this time, 7, going on 8, 7, 8. And he walks up the steps and, whatever. And he used to always call me, come here. What? He says, you're ugly. So, it's another story.
Yeah.
He says, I'm prettier than you are. But coming into the house, he comes in, sits down, he's talking to my mom for whatever hours. He's there for a few hours, right? I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm not paying him any attention. I guess one of the neighbors saw him come inside. They saw him come inside. He waved to a couple people, and then we're going to play like in the house, not like I said, not paying him any attention because it really didn't mean anything to me. I'm used to seeing him. Upon leaving, oh bye, come on, say bye. And we saying bye, and then he rubbed it. We go outside over the door. There's 1,000 people standing in front of our house.
I understand.
1,000 people in the street. The street is blocked off. They had to call the police. And we like, what the hell happened? Like, where are all these people? Like, I'm like, why are they here? Now I get why they're there. Someone saw him, and the word spread. Everybody from the community came out and packed the streets. Police had to give him an escort, but he stood out there and signed over 600 autographs. And back then, it took those pictures. So I've been around greatness for so long. I know what it looks like. I know what it takes to be at that level. And so I do understand to whom much is given, much is required.
Let's stop right there.
And that's a responsibility.
Let's stop right there, guys. We'll be right back. Stay logged in and tuned in. We're going to address that right there. To whom much is given, much is required. You're still logged in and live today with April A. In the building, Nathan S. Small.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's April A, and you're listening to WBJL Radio.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot. Shoot that. Hey, why not? Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow. Just like the demeanor. I'm feeding my fam. I'm feeding the meter. They got the iron while I got the steamer. I bring the fire, but you never seen her. I testify, I don't need a subpoena. They want my soul, better go to Korea. I love my dog just like I'm Peter. Gotta protect them. I made the call up with just like I'm reffing. I know we left, yeah, now we back together, but I guess that is better now. Later than never, like, what's happening? I'ma need y'all quit asking when. Me and my wife gon' have some kids. Right now we just practicing. Teacher said quit rapping, man. That gon' hurt my average. I said thank God I ain't average. Yeah, I'm a bright young man. Kill the GPA and the BPM. Look, we on. So say what you say, cause that's A with Lecrae. From the A train to the A, I'm coming in hot. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in. Shoot that shot. Hey, why not? Hey, yeah. I'm coming in.
Wake 'em up. Wake 'em up. Wake 'em up. Wake 'em up. See him still sleeping, so I had to shake 'em up. Shake 'em up. I kept it too real. I wasn't faking up. No. My real life was a headline. Your real life got a deadline. My timeline was a hashtag. Your timeline just a hate crime. Coming in hot. Feeling like Pac. Back in 9-4 when he took 5 shots. Too much drive to ride your wave. Ditch my top and I'm off that lot. Black on black on black on black on black on black on black. You don't have to ball a rap to get them racks on racks. Uber poolers trying to catch my vibe and find my way. Yeah, I know I'm ratchet, but I'm really safe. Hot sauce dripping. Everybody wanna start dipping. First nobody wanna listen. Now everybody pay attention. Now everybody pay a fee. Even Trump gotta take a knee. When the horn blow, y'all gon' see. Make the wall fall down like, I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot the shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot, coming in hot. Shoot that shot, shoot that shot. Shoot, why not? Hey, why not? Ain't no big, ain't no big. Feel like Pac, feeling like Pac. We can't lose, we can't stop, we can't stop. Yeah, coming in hot. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Shoot that shot. Hey, why not? Hey, why not? Hey, watch out.
Hi, I'm Wayne Smith, President and CEO of Wayne Smith & Associates, and you're listening to Live Today with April L.A. on WBJL Radio.
To whom much is given, much is required. We're here with I'm calling you Dr. Nathan and Smalls. That just came out.
Send me back to school. I will do that. Praise
Okay,
God.
Doc.
From your lips to God's ears. So I have work to do, obviously.
Wow.
I'll claim that.
Wow.
Dr. Nathan Smalls. I will take that.
I like that. Okay, so here we go. To whom much is given, much is required is something that you shared in your bio. And you talked about being extremely blessed as a child. And we just walked through the greatness that you were around. And I didn't want to talk to you today about the challenges, because you're doing something so phenomenal, and I want you to know that most of the people that I've spoken to, the saints and the ain'ts, y'all, most of them out there are so excited about what's coming. You got this 3-day festival celebration that's coming up that we're promoting right now, and my mind is just blown away because the calls are coming in about what's going on, and even the ones that are afraid of security reasons. I watched and I looked at your website, the FAQs and everything that you have presented is covered like Allstate. So I want to talk about the inspiration that you had to do this. Now, in your bio, it showed us the many accolades that you had starting in 1988 with hip hop, the hip hop generation, and how it expanded and expounded. Let's talk about how are you keeping your inspiration?
Oh, that's an easy one. That's an easy one. I'm grateful. All blessings flow from God. That's number one. It's nothing to do about me. I'm just a vessel to, in different forms. The message is always the same. I got this from T.D. Jakes. Someone said to T.D. Jakes, Bishop Jakes, you got a very successful record label. You got platinum artists, you got films, you're preaching, you got books, you got movies. I mean, how do you find time to pastor? But they said it in a negative way. And waiting for a response, of course, is Bishop Jakes. And he goes, no, I do one thing. I do one thing. I preach the word of God. And then I take the word and let other people manifest it through different forms. My job is easy. I preach and then they put it in a book. I preach, they put it in a movie. I preach, they put it on record. I do one thing, and I do one thing well. So, you mentioned two things. I'm going to answer this question in two parts. My inspiration comes from, and then you said something, and you said you wanted to move on about the challenges. But I can't move on because I think those two things are tied together.
Okay.
And I want to give a message to people that look like me and you. My biggest challenge in doing the BE Festival has come from people that look like you and me. That's my biggest challenge. From people that look just like me and you, the same color. The ones that tell you that you can't. Or the ones that get whatever type of way it is. Right? That's my biggest challenge. Right? We can't do that. No, you can't do that. Right? Maybe you can. I can do it. God is talking about, listen, I can do it. So that's my biggest challenge. And that's not my inspiration. But I think it's something that we're going to have a conversation with on Juneteenth weekend, is how we are detrimental to ourselves.
Wow.
So the challenge is getting us together as people inspires me to continue on, right? Because how do we break these generational curses? How do we break these challenges of watching other people in different races and religions band together, and they don't even have to like each other, but for the greater good or the greater of something, they find a way to work together. Absolutely. We're one of the only people who can't do that. I'm jealous of my sister because no, I'm not. I'm not jealous of anybody. Two reasons why I'm never jealous of anyone. One, everyone is giving gifts. Mine are not yours. Yours are not mine. So what is for me is going to be for me. Absolutely. I want to see my other brother and sister succeed. I also decided a very long time ago, I do not build cars, right? I don't build cars. Cars are Mercedes, Porsche, Ferrari, Maybach, whatever it is, Mercedes, right? Who got the best car? Mine is shining better than yours. I got, fine. No, I don't build cars. I build bridges. Because I don't care what kind of car you have, you're going to cross the bridge. And if I decide to put a toll there, you're going to pay the toll.
Speed.
So you can go back and forth. I'm the most unassuming thing in the room. I'm like a bridge. No one pays me any attention. My job is to build the stage for greatness and let people shine on that stage. So I'm never in competition, right? So that's what motivates me. That's what drives me. And to explain it very simply, I say very simply, the vision for the BE Festival was like a Noah's Ark, right? Sort of thing. My vision was big, build something big enough to fit everybody else's dream besides your own. Build something big enough to have other people's vision inside the building. So what I did is I went out and rented 2 football fields because we have 2 million square feet. Mm-hmm. I can't fill it, but that was never my task. My task was to build something bigger than yourself. In my father's house, there are many mansions. Right? Many mansions inside the house. So all I did was you take that concept of you build something so big and then you let other people bring their gifts and their talents and give them a platform and a display to put those things on display. And so that's what motivates me. What motivates me, excites me, energizes me is to come and see other people successful. We've got Praise Fest. We've got Apostle Marvin coming. We've got Lady D. They're bringing everything and the kitchen sink. You know, we're baptizing. We're trying to baptize 1,000 people in the Atlantic Ocean on Saturday morning. There's the Caribbean Fest. There's Food Festival. There's a comedy show. There's so many people here that are contributing to, and that's what the BE Festival is, right? It is a makeup of other festivals.
Absolutely.
So there's room for everybody. Come out, have a great time. There's arcades for the children. It's Father's Day weekend. They just put in a new racetrack where if you want to go halfway, kill yourself,
right?
Put the helmet on, you could go 40 miles an hour. That's coming in time for the BE. It's Black Music Month.
Absolutely.
It's Carnival. It's something for everybody. Bring your dad down. Enjoy the weekend. We got an old school hip hop concert. I guess I can even talk about it. They sent it to me today. So it's a beautiful weekend of us. Absolutely. Right? And in terms of security, you know, I have my security team. We got some folks. If you want to spend the weekend in jail, then come on down and act up.
Come on down and do the day. Absolutely.
Come on and act up. But we coming in love. We had a great year last year. And I'm excited about the partnerships. I'm excited to be on your show. It was a WBJL?
WBJL. Why? Because Jesus lives.
Why? Because Jesus lives. I like that. WBJL. I like that. I like that. Like Apostle Marvin said, team.
Yeah, I felt that in my spirit. That thing felt all right. Yeah. Listen, I am so excited. I went through the website, thebefestival.com, and I have some things that I just want to talk about. Let's talk about it.
Let's chat. Come on.
So listen, there was a quote that you quoted on a platform, and you stated that it was a quote that you liked. Team, together everyone achieves more. How important has your team been for you during this whole journey?
You do your homework. I love journalism. Journalists who do their homework. You've been studying. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, we're honored.
I appreciate that. So how important that is? I said that and I thought about that because we all just experienced the Oscars. We all witnessed Will Smith slap Chris Rock, and how professionally Chris handled the entire incident. But the backlash, of course, was he take black people somewhere, you put us out, you can't take us anywhere. And I said, the devil is a lie. Because on my Wednesday calls, I think you have been on one of them, yes. I believe, and I'm sitting there on our team leaders calls, and I'm looking at 28, 30 dynamic people, master's degrees, vice presidents of banks, powerful attorneys, and I see this picture of black people. I don't see that narrative. What I see is, as I'm looking at the screen, I often say, please screenshot that, because I am looking at more than 20-something African-American men and women coming together for one cause. So you can't tell me that it can't be done, right? Maybe that's not what we see, and that's what folks don't want us to see, right? But that's what Inspire Team is, right? Together, everyone achieves more, and that's what I preach. The BE Festival, our goal is it's on Juneteenth, first of all, which is an historic day in American Black history. Not overall Black history, but in American Black history. And so it means something to us on that day. And then to have us come together to achieve this, these are the images that need to be celebrated. Absolutely. And that's my job with the BE Festival, right? I got tired of looking at, reality shows where you pulling my sister's hair, take her clothes off, and she's sleeping with her husband, and then, she's sleeping with her sister, the two girlfriends are sleeping together, then sleeping with her. I'm like, I'm looking at something totally different. So we don't own VH1. We no longer own BET. So people are writing a narrative about us, and they say, look how we act. No, that's what you choose to show us, because absolutely. I can see the same thing. So my job is, and I think I was commissioned to write the narrative of what black folks look like, people of color. Because I have my Caribbean folks join us at Carnival on Friday night in the House of Blues. Yes. We're going to do that. That's going to happen at the same time as we deep inside. That's downstairs. We'll get into that. However, and then upstairs is hallelujah. We're going to get into all of those things. However, it's a way for us to shape a narrative about us, control the narrative, which is why the BE Film Festival is so important. It's important because it's our second year of having a film festival. We choose the best directors, filmmakers who are putting together quality content, right? That's the narrative. Those are the things and the images that are out there that make us look good, not only being quality entertainment. So that's our overall goal. Our mission is to support Black culture, let it be represented in the way that it should be, controlled by us, for us, and by us.
Yes, sir. Right?
And then write a true narrative of who we are as a people. And we get to do that June 17th to the 19th at the Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City. Anybody interested? TheBEFestival.com is where you go to look at more information, get tickets, check back in your show. You're going to be doing some amazing things. We're on social media, BE_festival on Instagram, BE Festival on Facebook. We're everywhere, and we're just excited to have everybody come out and join us on Juneteenth weekend.
Awesome. Hey, family, you guys heard it here first. Nathan S. Smalls, the BEFestival.com. Make sure you go to the website, get connected, and stay connected, guys. Hey, listen, Nathan, I have one more question for you, and I'm going to let you go because we're going to fully support this. We're going to make sure we get our tickets and we out there and our cheer out there, y'all. So we're going to make sure we're connected. In the social media post you shared encouraging and uplifting self-care, self-love messages. And you shared a quote. And I quote, "My motto is, what about me?" End quote. The no stress challenge. What I love is that all of this that you have going on and all of these things that are under your hat and your belt and your gifts and your gifts and your talents, you still show that you took some time out for you.
Absolutely. Selfish Wednesdays, I call it. Every Wednesday, I go right to skip. I walk every day. Wednesdays, I take it a step further. It's my day. Don't bother me till after 1 o'clock. You're on time. You called me at 1. Otherwise, I would not have answered.
See, I didn't even know that.
Well, because of you, I may have answered. But anybody else, I would not have answered. So, Selfish Wednesdays, I go for my daily walks. Wednesday's my day. I go over to Hand and Stone. I get my massage every single Wednesday. I go throw my feet in some water with the manicure, pedicure. You see the crispy, shiny.
So fresh and so clean.
So fresh and so clean.
That's it.
So why is that important? Is because we have to take time out. If no one else appreciates you, appreciate yourself. God has blessed you with something special. You're uniquely made, and you have to learn to put yourself first before all things. And that's just my way of encouraging other people. You know, our days get crazy. We're bombarded with, if we have children, we have responsibilities. But guess what? If the engine is broken, then nothing else is gonna get done. And so you have to work on yourself and take that moment to do that. And that's really what the challenge was. Challenge to take 5 minutes to yourself. Take a walk, shut the phone off, leave it on the counter, and go take a walk or stand on your patio or just breathe for 60, 30 seconds. And I encourage people to do that. You'll feel the difference and know that you're important. God made you, He loves you, and He wants you to be successful. But you gotta hear it, listen, and more importantly, you gotta believe it and then put those action steps to get it done. And you heard that first on WBJL.
That's it, y'all. Y'all heard it right there in your chair. It's your girl, April L.A. in the building with Nathan S. Smalls, President and CEO of the Black Excellence Festival, and then also Women of Color. Then there's some other things that's in the pocket. Follow the links all below, and you guys will get connected as we stay connected. Yeah, come on in.
So I'm excited. I'm excited because we also have Prosperity Records, PMG Music Group.
Let's talk about that.
I put a record out in 2016 with Platinum Gold, Lance Hamwright. The single went gold. It's My Season. One of amazing. Lance was assistant musical director for Eddie Long at the time. The record exploded. It's called It's My Season. The pandemic, we're back. I signed a new young lady.
Send her.
And
yes,
most people think, well, it's a sinner. No, she is a woman of faith, and she does this through her music. And so that whole thing is crazy. We just signed it. We've been recording the music in New York at Sony. She's debuting at the festival, but we're working on her album. Dynamic, 19-year-old girl. She writes. I know superstars. I've had a #1 record on the chart. I was managing Mark Dorsey at the time, 2003, and we did a song called Love You Better, which was #1 on the charts for 14 weeks, and nominated for a Grammy. I remember that was the 2004 Grammys. We lost Jay-Z and Beyonce, Dangerously in Love.
Okay.
However, this young lady is amazing. Amazing. And I'm only passing on all of that experiences that I had onto her, but you're gonna see her on Juneteenth.
Listen, I'm excited.
I want to come back. You have to have me back on your show.
I mean, once a week. Let's do the thing. Let's talk about it. I'm here.
Can we give away 2 tickets? Can we give away a prize pack
I would love that.
So here's what we're doing right now on your show.
Let's do the thing.
It's unscripted. 2 callers. Whoever calls in, I'm giving tickets, 2 sets of tickets to the whole BE Festival. Gotta pay your own hotel room. But the comedy show, Praise Fest, everything. 2 VIP tickets to your listeners at WBJL. They call in. Let's give them 2 tickets to experience the festival. Bring your kids, bring your family, all of that wonderful stuff. And I want our folks out there to have a good time. So courtesy of me to you, and you gotta tune in.
Log in to aprilLA.today.